Hi everyone, it's Oksana, and this video stems from kind of something I was thinking as I made my previous video, which is a tutorial on a top drilled bead. And for the bail of that bead, I did this weaving pattern here. And then I was thinking, if somebody is new, maybe they've never even done weaving before, it might be quite tricky for them having it explained rather quickly like I did in that video. So I wanted to make a video where I teach you how to weave this pattern, and I have a nice contrast between the wires so you can really see when I'm doing it. And I'm also going to go really slow and just really try to explain this pattern. And then I do it kind of spaced out like this, like I just kind of spaced it out a little so you can really see like each individual little wrap as I do it. So hopefully it'll help you learn this weaving pattern. If you're weaving for the first time, or maybe just doing this pattern for the first time, I'm going to really go nice and slow. So let's get started. So the base wires I'm using are 20 gauge round wire, and then the weaving wire I'm using is 28 gauge round wire. And I think 28 gauge is a good size because it's nice and thin, and so that makes it quite flexible and easy to weave with. So the first thing that I do is these two wires that I'm going to be weaving around. I get to the ends of them and I slightly bend the ends. So the down one I bend facing down and the other one facing up. So that way when you're putting your wire through here, it's just easy to have this kind of, it almost like guides the wire in. So the next thing is we're going to take our wire, put it in between these two wires, and I'm holding them with my index finger and my thumb. So the next finger available here is my middle finger. So I'm just going to squish that wire there, just to hold it so that it doesn't come out. So I'm just holding that end, and then at the end you can cut it off. So this is going to be a 3-step process. There's 3 portions of this weave, and they just repeat themselves. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the first one is with your wire coming out the middle here. It's coming in between the two wires. You're going to bring it down and then up. Now pull on it so that you put a nice bend into the wire, and then you're going to bring it all the way up around the top there. I like to use my finger to just guide the little bends in the wire. And then you're going to put it through the middle again. All right, so it went down, up the back, came out here at the top, around that top wire, and then it's going back through the middle. So essentially you have 2 little wraps now, one around the bottom wire and one around the top. So around the top, that's step 2. So we have step 1, step 2, and now for step 3, bring the wire up again, and this time bring it down across the entire front. So that's step 3. So I'm going to repeat them again slowly. So the wire is going in between, it's in the back right now, and it's going in between these two wires. It's going from back to front. Okay, so that's step 1. It made like a little wrap around the bottommost wire. Now step 2, up the back, around that top wire, and through the middle, making a little wrap around the topmost wire. So that's step 2. And then step 3, back up around the top, but this time down the entire front. And I'm gonna do some big spaces here. You can always squish them together afterwards. That's what I'm gonna do. But I want you to really see the individual wraps. So let me see if I can zoom in a little. All right. So step one, the wire right now is in the back. We're bringing it to the front. Makes a little wrap around the bottommost wire. Step two, goes up the back around the topmost wire, makes a little wrap around the topmost wire. Step three, goes across both wires. All right, so I'm just gonna do that a few times slowly, and I'm gonna try to keep some big spaces so you can really see. So step one, around the bottom wire. Step two, up and around the top wire. Step three, across both. Okay, one, around the bottom, two, around the top, and three, up and around both. One, around the bottom, two, around the top. Sorry, I missed the space there. There we go. Around the top wire, and three, down across both. And I'm just going to do step one again so the wire is secure before I squish this wrap together. So here's what it looks like really spaced out, so you can see each individual little stitch. And then of course when you squish it together it looks quite a bit different. But that is basically the gist of it. I'm going to just do this a few more times in case you want to just keep watching. So I did step one, step two, I'm just going to go a little faster. Step three, down across both, one, and two, and three, and one, and two, and three. And I highly recommend when you're done and you want to trim the excess wire, do not do it on step three, because it's like the big piece of it. Like, where would you cut it right now? You know, you're gonna have a little end hanging out. So do step one. Whoops, mine's all, there we go. Do step one and you have it right here, right in between the wires, and you can just trim it right off. Or do step two and you have it in the back now. You can trim it right off, come in between the wires. So I highly recommend trimming on either step one or two, but not three. And last but not least, I just want to say that this is just something that takes some practice, some getting used to. It's pretty hard work weaving with these thin little wires, and when I first started, you know, mine looked quite sloppy. So don't get discouraged. Don't let it, you know, don't give up. So you'll get the hang of it. I wish you lots of luck with your wire weaving, but that's it for this pattern. Hopefully this video was helpful to you, and hopefully you now understand how this weaving pattern is done. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.